Fear not. I just can't find the light. Oh, there it is. Gonna go back to our little paraphrase storybook. Howdy, partners. Some folks have been teasing and pushing my partner, Bob the Tomato, around lately. The other day, somebody filled his mailbox up with whipped cream. I thought it should sprinkle in some nuts. Add a little hot fudge, a cherry, and enjoy the treat. Bob disagreed. And he got his feelings hurt too, because it's hard when things always seem to be going wrong. So I found a rootin' tootin' Bible story that had all the fixings to help Bob solve his problem. Ladies and gentlemen, this story is called The Ballad of Little Jo. And that was my dog sneezing. Yippee-ki-yay, today's a special day. Way out west, at the Okie Dokie Corral lived a guy named Little Jo. He lived with his 11 cowboy brothers, all of whom had French accents. We need to take a pause. Come here, Lacey. Come here. Come say hi. There. There's my dog, Lacey. Okay, go to bed. Bed. Carrying on, Little Jo was his father's favorite son. So for his birthday, I wasn't sure where to look. I think over here. No, I'm just kidding. For his birthday, his dad gave him a beautiful western vest of many colors. Now, his brothers didn't like that one little bit. No siree. That's when Little Jo headed into all sorts of trouble. His brothers were so jealous they decided to toss him right into an old mine shaft. Hey, Jude. Little Jo called out to his big brother for help, but Jude didn't answer. Instead, he convinced the rest of his brothers to hand Little Jo over to a band of desperados. Okay, I must have a wide audience tonight because I'm trying to look at all y'all. Oh, hello. There's Little Jo. Down in the mine shaft he's a-going. Yep. So, the desperados sold Little Jo to the owner of the Rootin' Tootin' Pizza place in Dodgeball City. But Little Jo made the best of the situation. He worked so hard that he was named Employee of the Month. Unfortunately, that made Miss Kitty, the waitress at the Rootin' Tootin' Pizza place, burning mad. Miss Kitty decided to get even with Little Jo. She filled his cow hat with lots of money and told everybody that Little Jo had stolen it. The sheriff rounded up Little Jo and tossed him in jail. Once again, he found himself in a whole lick of trouble. You hear that crunching? It's my dog chewing on a bone. Little Jo, why is all this stuff happening to you? Asked Sheriff Bob. Shucks, I really don't know, but God is good, Little Jo answered. I reckon I just gotta keep on doing what's right. So, I'll keep on doing what's right despite incarceration. That's kind of a big word. Incarceration. Yeah. Yeah, that's incarceration. It's like being in prison, in a jail. Okay. One night, the mayor of Dodgeball City had a dream. He was so upset by it, he simply had to know what it meant. Little Jo asked God to help him explain the mayor's dream. Little Joe told the mayor he'd have 7 years more food than they knew what to do with, and 7 years of terrible famine. Yeah, how'd you like that, Lacey? You. The mayor was so impressed. He made Little Joe the second most powerful man in Dodgeball City, and Little Joe used his new position to get the town ready for the 7 bad years. During those bad years, Little Joe's family came to Dodgeball City. They were hungry, and they needed some food. At first, Little Joe was mad at them, but he knew God had used all the bad things that had happened to him for good. So he forgave his brothers, and they had the best family reunion the West had ever seen. And I do believe the book of Romans, chapter 8, 28, might talk just about that, about God using all things together for good. So the Bible story itself is from Genesis 37:1 through 45:8. Yeehaw! I sure am glad God's in charge. We can always count on God when times are bad, and that should keep us from being sad. Read all about it in the story of Joseph. So that's what we're gonna do, partners. Yeah. What do you think about that? Y'all been out west before? Oh yeah, we live out west, don't we? Well, not everybody lives out west, but we do. Me and my grandkids and my kids, we live out west. Yeah, wish I had a horse. I'll just have a dog. Okay. Okay, now, I'm going to read you this Bible story. I try real hard to be looking at the lens. I think it's right there, over there. But I keep looking over here. Yeah, I gotta look over there. My right eye's kind of weak. Israel, that be Jacob, loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, and made him a beautiful robe. Joseph's brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them. They hated Joseph, and they threw him into an empty well. Then they sold him to some traders. The traders took him to Egypt, that's south of Israel, and sold Joseph to a man named Potiphar, one of the Pharaoh's officials. He was the captain of the palace guard. Potiphar's wife lied about Joseph, and so Potiphar put Joseph in prison. A few years later, get the little shiny light out of my eye. A few years later, Pharaoh sent for Joseph and said, I had a dream. No one can tell me what it means. But I've heard that when you hear a dream, you can explain it. Joseph said, God has shown Pharaoh what he's about to do. 7 years with plenty of food are coming to the whole land of Egypt. But 7 years when there won't be enough food will follow those years. The grain should be stored up for the country to use later. Pharaoh put Joseph in charge of the whole land. Joseph's brothers went to buy grain there, and Joseph recognized his brothers, but they didn't recognize him. Joseph said, Come close to me. I am your brother Joseph. I'm the one you sold into Egypt. But don't be upset. Don't be angry with yourselves because you sold me here. God sent me ahead of you to save many lives. So, kids, have you ever had to deal with some double trouble in your life? How about triple, quadruple trouble? Or maybe you've just been doggone sad about something. Yeah, maybe. I told you in one of the other videos that God puts our tears in a bottle. And it does say in another version that he keeps track of them on a scroll. By golly, when Bob heard about how little Joe trusted God to make good out of the bad things that happened to him, he felt a lot better. It sure is nice to know God's got a plan, and he can turn bad things into something good. That's because God made you special. Oh my goodness, look at this. It is Romans 8:28. Right there. What's that say? Can you read it? Okay, I'll read it to you. I bet most of you can read that, huh? In all things, God works for the good of those who love him. Okay, this is fun. I bet my eyeballs are real shifty tonight. That's because I'm getting used to looking at the right spot of my phone. Because, it's my first time to do a YouTube channel. And, like I said, it's temporary. I started reading stories to my grandkids, and then I had friends from different parts of the world that said, you need to make it so we can see it too. So that's what I've been a-doing. What have you been a-doing today? Let's see. I bet somebody made some Play-Doh today. And I bet somebody held a chicken or 2 or 4 or 7. I know somebody practiced because I gave one of my older students a lesson today. She sounded really good. She plays the violin. That's what I forgot to do. I was going to play a fiddle tune. Well, how about we do that next time? Because right now, oh, yeah, it is time for bed. So, I meant to read this story a lot earlier, but, what happened? Oh, I was trying to figure out how to call Argentina. That wasn't working. All these apps I gotta figure out. But you know what? I'm real thankful. As you know, today, Lacey, my dog that you just met, I let her outside, and I came outside with her, and she jumped out of my yard and ran down and greeted the neighbor girls who were outside. They came out to play with their little masks on, and Lacey was so happy to see them, and they were so happy to see her. So I was real thankful for my dog today, because she made 3 little girls really happy. And of course, when she does that, that makes me happy. So don't forget to think about the things you're grateful for. And I noticed some people on the internet are doing things called gratitudes. So I might try one of those. It'll be fun, huh? All right. Yeehaw! Woo, I am tired. Been a long day. So tomorrow's the weekend. Happy Saturday. And I hope that you have a great, great weekend. It's time to just hang out at home and have a great weekend and relax and not have to work. Oh yeah, we're already doing that. We've been doing that for 2 weeks now, haven't we? Ha! It's been a weekend for 14 days. All right, Lacey, come here. Say goodbye. Can you say goodbye? Say bye, Lacey. Oh, yeah. He's a sweet girl. All right, see you later. God bless y'all.